welcome back to Mama Tried. I'm Juliet, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of my go-to ground beef recipes, so let's go ahead and get started. For the first recipe, we are going to be starting off with some ground beef pasta. I wish that I had a more whimsical name for it, but that's what it is, ground beef pasta. But I promise this recipe is anything but boring. It is delicious. So, I'm just getting all my ingredients out to start to make sure that I have everything, and I probably forgot something, but we'll see. And I'm boiling some water for my 1 pound of rotini. I'm using Bonza rotini pasta, and if you don't know what Bonza is, I cook with it a lot. It's chickpea pasta, high protein, low carb, amazing. And now I am just cooking some ground beef that's 90-10 over medium high heat. And I'm going to measure out my cheese and my half and half so it gets down to room temperature, so that way whenever I add it in, it doesn't do anything weird, because you know how dairy products are when you go from cold to hot real quick. So now I am just chopping up 1/2 of a large yellow onion, and I'm going to be adding that into the ground beef and cooking it together until it is all the way cooked through. Now that the water is boiling for the pasta, I'm just adding some salt and then adding in the rotini pasta. You can use any type of rotini or really any kind of noodle that you want. I prefer rotini for this, and like I said, the Bonza one is amazing. I get it in the bulk box at Costco, and this isn't sponsored. Once again, I talk about this all the time. Bonza, where you at? Get in my DMs. Now that the ground beef is cooked all the way through, I am adding in 3 cloves of garlic. I like to use fresh garlic. You can use the minced garlic that comes in the big container from the store if you want, but I think that fresh garlic makes everything taste a lot better. Also, I got this garlic press at Walmart, and 10 out of 10, don't recommend. This thing is awful, so now I have to get another one, I guess. I also forgot to add that the ground beef that I'm using has very, very little fat in it, so I don't have to drain the grease. But if you are cooking with some ground beef that is super greasy, make sure that you drain it before adding in the garlic. So once the garlic is added in, just cook it for about a minute until it's fragrant, and then you can continue on. Now I am adding in 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of flour. You don't have to do this, but it helps thicken up the sauce. You can also use a flour alternative like almond flour if you'd like, or coconut flour, but it may give it a weird taste. I haven't tried it with either one, but I probably will substitute it out next time that I make it, because I am trying to make pretty much all of my recipes low carb at this point. Now I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of that W sauce. I cannot say that word. I Google it every time I make a video, and I'm done with it. So it's W sauce from here on out, okay? Now stir it up lots of times, all of the times, and cook it for about 3 minutes to remove that raw flour taste. So now editing and watching this video, I realized that I cooked it for about 2 minutes, so I guess just do whatever you want. But now I'm adding in 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Needed more than a friend. Now let the sauce boil, and then reduce it to a simmer and let it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. But right next to you now, I'm sleeping. No rhyme or reason to that. Now add in your nudes. Now I'm adding in 1/2 cup of half and half. Can't get enough of this. Thought Lastly, I'm adding in 1 cup of sharp cheddar cheese that's shredded, and I'm just going to stir it up until all of the cheese is melted, and then it's ready to serve. I made literally the most makeshift garlic bread known to man. I just toasted 2 pieces of white bread and put some butter on it and put some garlic salt on it. There's nothing fancy about this garlic toast, so I'm sorry to disappoint.
Mommy, I don't like that pasta.
Please try it, Lexi. You haven't even tried it.
No, I don't like that pasta.
Here. Look, Mommy's gonna get you a little pipe and put it on here and try it.
Pasta.
Mm-hmm. For the next recipe, I'm getting out all of my ingredients for a 1-pan ground beef and rice skillet meal. This is amazing. All right, so I'm just cooking up some ground beef. This is 1.5 pounds over medium-high heat. I'm just using my little meat chopper thing like I did before. This thing comes in so handy. I will link it in the description if you're interested, but you need it. If you cook any sort of meat, you just need it. I saw this little hack that I'm doing right now somewhere, maybe on TikTok, I don't know, but I'm going to do it again and next time it'll be better. But you just basically push in the top part of a bell pepper and shake it up, and it makes all of the seeds come out really easily. Next time I'll be better at it, but yeah, good intentions. So now I am just dicing up 1 large red bell pepper and 1 yellow onion. I'm just going to be using half of the yellow onion though, because that is a lot of onion. After I've added in the pepper and the onion and stirred it all together, I am also going to add in 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm just taking the outside peel of the garlic off, and then I'm going to be putting it in my garlic press that I hate, but you know, it's kind of growing on me. It's not so bad. It's not the best, but it's not really that bad, you know? It was like $5 at Walmart. Now I'm just going to add in about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, and then I'm going to mix everything together and let that cook for about 3 minutes. Once the 3 minutes is up, I'm just going to add in 1 can of Rotel, 1 cup of white rice. You can use whatever kind of rice that you want. Next time that I make this, I'm probably going to try the Bonza rice. You know how I feel about Bonza. And then I'm going to be using some of that W sauce, 2 tablespoons to be exact, and then 1 1/2 cups of beef broth. Stir everything together really well and then let it come to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, reduce the heat and let it simmer covered for about 20 minutes. And voila! You have a perfect 30-minute dinner. Like I said, this is one of my go-tos. If I just have some ground beef that I need to get rid of, this always makes me happy. So stir it up really well and serve it with some shredded cheddar cheese on top if you would like. And I put some chopped parsley on mine. I assumed that Luxie wouldn't like the parsley, so I didn't add it on hers. But let's see what she thinks.
Just try it, baby. No.
Mommy's gonna eat it with you.
Come on, let's eat. Okay.
It's got rice and cheese. It's yummy.
We got rice and cheese.
There's salt and pepper.
Okay.
And there's ground beef and onion and the red pepper and the tomato.
Okay, I don't like it though.
You haven't tried it yet.
I don't want to try it yet. I don't like it. Yummy, yummy. It's yummy, Mama.
You like it?
Okay, Mama.
Ah, toddlers. Am I right? Can I get an amen? So for the last and final recipe, we are going to be making kind of like a cheater Korean bulgogi. I bet you guys didn't know that I was part Korean. I am just throwing 1 pound of ground beef into a large pan over medium to high heat and chopping it up really well with my little chopper. Now I am adding in 3 cloves of minced garlic with my love-hate relationship with my garlic mincer thingy. Now I'm just going to stir this together really well and let it cook all the way through. Now, this is actually not usually how I make this. I wanted to make this recipe super fast for you guys, so I came up with a super simple way to do it because trust me, making bulgogi it's a process, okay? And I feel like everyone should have to go through it. You know, it's a part of like Korean heritage, but this is the cheater's way. I made it especially for y'all, so I really hope that you enjoy. So if you get anything from this video, please at least make this one because it's delicious. So in 1 bowl or measuring cup thing, if you will, I'm adding in 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. This was actually a lot, so you don't have to use that much. You could probably use half if you want. I also added in 1/4 cup of liquid aminos. You could substitute that out for soy sauce if you'd like, but I don't like all the extra sodium, so that's why I use liquid aminos. And then I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. Now I'm adding in about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to whisk all of this together really, really well. Now my favorite way to eat bulgogi is on top of some white rice, but I'm trying to do better. So I got these little pre-cooked rice things from Costco that are organic. Love these things. You just pop them in the microwave for 90 seconds. So that's what I'm using today because I'm just trying to do a little better, you know. This would also be really good on top of some salad or on top of maybe some bonza rice. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Maybe we'll find out in the next video. So now I'm just adding in the sauce on top of the ground beef since the ground beef is pretty much all the way cooked through, and then I'm just going to let that cook completely. While I'm letting that cook, I'm going to go ahead and chop up some green onions just to add in there. You can use more, you can use less, you don't even have to use this if you don't want to, but it just gives it that little extra oomph, you know? All right, to serve, I'm just adding some rice on the bottom, and then I'll be adding the bulgogi on top. And then on top of mine, I'm just adding some sesame seeds. I opted out of doing it on Luxie's because according to her food allergy test, she's a little sensitive to sesame seeds. I don't want to take them completely out of her diet, but I also don't want to add excessive amounts, if that makes sense. But let's see how she likes it. I already know how she likes this. It's one of my favorites too.
Nom nom nom.
Alright, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please be sure to hit the like button. It really helps support my channel, and also be sure that you're subscribed with the bell notifications on so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But that was everything, so I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!